hate how I have to schedule my life around when my kids go back to school.
Well, I mean, you're a parent, so technically that's kind of what you
I
do.
was gonna say, like, you kind of.
It is. I mean,
have
that's
to.
yeah. That's a date that I have to remember. But like, damn, that's where I section myself off in life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
They should
Nothing wrong with
organize.
that.
But who
Yeah,
wants to
nothing
start
wrong
it
with
off? Who wants to start it off? Who wants to start it off? Does anyone want to go?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember 2010s. What was that?
Well, I do.
Hold on, that was my 11th grade. Yeah, because I graduated in 2011. Fuck, dude. 2000. Oh shit. All right, Mikey, you said you got a long story.
yeah.
You got it. Go for
So
it.
how are we gonna? So we're gonna do like, do you want to start from 2010 and then like into now? So I guess like into now and then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, sure. So I guess just give me like
So,
a
are
decade
we doing
recap.
like the whole?
Wow,
okay,
this
I was gonna
is-
say.
This is post Mikey J. That's
Hey,
or
but-
pre Mikey J.
But I want to say don't go into detail. Obviously, we don't need like the life stories and shit like that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it
because personal information and shit. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I know how to reel it back. Anyway, all right. So my 2010 started off with a beautiful, beautiful bouncing baby girl.
Which one?
My last kid.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like which one?
It was she was born in October of 2019. Not 2019. What the fuck? 2009.
Yikes.
Okay.
And so that was cool. We had just moved out of our apartment into a rental house. It was dope. I had an upstairs. I had a basement. It was cool. It was cool. So, I had how old was I? 10 years ago, I was 25, 24, 25, something like that. I had just taught my wife. Well, I didn't just teach her how to drive, but she just got her license. So that was kind of weird because I was always her personal chauffeur for like the first 5 years we were together.
Yeah.
And but yeah, 2010 started off really, really cool, really smooth. I was making, life move. I was doing my trucking thing. I was actually working for somebody at the time, but I was making really good money. Trucking was dope. It was a profession to actually, be in at the time. So everything was all good. 2011. What came out 2011? Call of Duty.
Weren't you still doing Call of Duty back then?
I was. I wasn't.
Call of Duty.
I wasn't even thinking
You met
about
Mikey through Call of Duty.
What?
Or when people were shifting, like back when like the Call of Duty niggas were shifting over to Pokemon. That's how we met Mikey. Mikey and like the rest of them, like Lux and even Kristen. Kristen started that whole like Pokemon stuff when her and what's his name? Fuck him. Got really close together, and then that's how that worked. And then he took all of his friends over here, and then Mikey followed because he was a part of that group, and then we just intertwined, and that's how we're here. Yeah.
But that happened in like 2013 though. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
You still got the triple no scopes?
No,
I was a
knifer. My name was Empty Clips. I never had bullets, so
you were a knifer. Oh, you were one of them like 2011,
Pro, bitch.
2011 Commando montages. You got like the little nasty ass dubstep. Wow.
No, but I didn't start my YouTube channel till it was late 2011, and I remember that year, Activision did Call of Duty XP. So
the very first time
it was the very first Call of Duty
one.
XP. If you guys like watch anything Call of Duty, I went out there with Chaos X Silencer, Big Snacks, Mr. Blackout.
Man, I remember all these niggas, man.
Like, yeah, Mr. Blackout's doing very, very well. He was actually the one who inspired me to make my own YouTube channel.
What is he doing now? He still doing Call of Duty?
He does.
I'm about to be. Continue.
No, I don't think. No, he's not doing Call of Duty. He's doing like He was doing Arma. He was doing like some long range sniping game. I don't know, but he was doing very well with it. So shout out to Mr. Blackout.
He hasn't uploaded in like 2 years.
Oh, he's a Twitch streamer.
That's
Oh,
He's
probably
on
why.
Twitch.
Yeah, he moved over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he moved
he's
over
kind
to
of
Twitch.
decent. Excuse me. Okay, continue the story. Okay.
But yeah, so I followed in his footsteps, trying to do you know, the cinematic type shits because he was really good at. Yo, remember when Black Ops, the first Black Ops came out and they had the little dolly cam
Let it
where
be
you
known,
can make
Black
that
Ops
shit
1.
cinematic, you just swoop it
Let
in
it
and
be
out,
known,
bro.
Black Ops
Yo,
1
Black
is one of
Ops
the
1,
greatest Call of Duties ever created. I hope
the
people
Black Ops
understand.
franchise.
I hope people.
Yo,
Nah, but
the
Black Ops 1
franchise,
though. Black Ops 1 like as a game, like story, multiplayer, the guns, the maps and stuff.
that story was fire. That story was fire.
Man,
Look at
that
the
shit is
numbers,
good.
you
Call
made
it,
it.
bro. Black Ops is so fucking good. Continue. I'm sorry.
All right, so going into 2012, we get Black Ops 2 right around the corner. And this was a time where it was the fucking thing, just the it thing to have the game early. I got that game 1 week early, and I actually got to play. I played with C Nanners, I played with Hutch, I played with what's that bitch ass nigga? What is his name?
he just gets called out.
No, because he was an asshole. Fuck, I forget his name, but he was one of them Call of Duty niggas. Damn, I really wish I could remember his name. X Jaws. There we go. That dude, I got in a match
Didn't
with
he
him.
buy?
Yeah, he bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I got into like a match with White Boy 7th Street. Dog, it was a really good time to be a part of the Call of Duty community in like 2012.
Them niggas were very down to earth too. Like despite them being assholes back in the day, they didn't mind getting down with like the smaller folks and like chilling out.
I was gonna say, I thought a lot of them
like,
were
the
like
Call of Duty
dicks.
guys. The Call of Duty guys. And this was back when Call of Duty was like prime. Like if you made gaming content, you more than likely did Call of Duty. And Call of Duty was just crazy. This is back before YouTubers were making like serious money. All the bigger guys, they were they were assholes, yes, but they were some of the coolest people like to just talk to game with and shit. Like sometimes they'll invite they used to have like they're like a collective, like instead of a Discord, they have like a big ass Skype group. And they would call in there and they would like play with their fans and shit. That was cool as fuck. But continue, Mikey. I'm sorry.
All right, so yeah, and that's kind of where 2012 is kind of the end of the good times. Shit started really hitting the fan. Like
Personally?
Personally in 2012, going into 2013. I still to this day believe, even after all the shit that I went through last year, 2013 was probably the worst year of my life so far. So
do you want to go into that?
I'll go into that because that's not. It's not.
It's character development, everybody. So
yeah. It's not personal. You
gotta look at your L's. 2 L's make a W.
It really wasn't even an L. It was just so much of. Well, I'll tell the story.
Go ahead.
So it's like the end of 2012, and I got this trucking thing down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've been driving for a couple years, and I'm ready to step out on my own. And there was an opportunity that was put in front of me. So the guy that I worked for, which was my uncle, he was married to my blood auntie. So I was working for him for a good while, almost 10 years at the time. And I strongly believe in not letting everybody know your next move or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm behind the scenes trying to get my own contract going at Best Buy where I was at, because one of my friends, his father, he had passed away and he left him a lot of money. So what he was going to do, he's going to invest it in some trucks, but he had messed up. He had messed up everything. He had messed up credit, messed up license, messed up everything. He wasn't able to put anything in his name. So I was able to put something in my name, and he would foot the bill for the trucking, the gas, and all that kind of stuff. I was like, it's okay, that's fair. And then we can build the shit up and split it, equally.
Right.
So, and we wanted to do it. We wanted to do it at Best Buy because Best Buy was, if you got in at Best Buy was the bread and butter of any delivery company. It was easy. You deliver TVs all day. You deliver, you barely deliver, not microwave, those big ass refrigerators and all that kind of shit. So half of your truck is going to be TVs. So I try to get all the paperwork together and all that kind of stuff. And apparently Best Buy's got this clause to where if you work for somebody, you have to let them know
Oh,
that
so
you're
that's not
interested.
yeah, that's not just Best Buy. It's
Okay.
all those, that chain of retailers: GameStop, Target, Best Buy, Walmart. There's one more that I'm missing, but all of them do that because it's
No, but
something
I
about
mean,
some stupid
no.
shit with competitors.
It doesn't, honestly, to be honest, it doesn't matter because we were contractors. We didn't work for
Mm,
Best Buy. We were contracted by Best Buy. But apparently Best Buy, the delivery service had to have some type of, I basically had to get permission from the nigga I worked for to get a contract where I worked.
yeah.
That didn't make any sense to me. Because if I'm coming from outside, I wouldn't need any permission from them. So anyway, so the man that I called my uncle, I had a really good relationship with him up until then. I had to tell him, I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how, I want to take things. He was like, I'm gonna think about it, because it was a spot open and he had already had 2 trucks there. And I was like, well, let me get on. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't. I mean, I went to him with the thought of, yo, this is my uncle. He shouldn't have, he should
Issues.
want me to succeed in what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Obviously, that wasn't the case. So it was like, he shut me down, and I was just like, well, I mean, if you're gonna do that, I felt betrayed. Not so much as betrayed, but it was just a real letdown because he was a Muslim. He taught me a lot. He was a Nation of Islam Muslim, so he's on that brother shit, and building up the community and all that kind of shit. So why not build me up? Like, I followed in your footsteps, and this is what I believe in. So why shouldn't, this is what we believe in? So why shouldn't I be able to get my own? Why do I got to work for you for the rest of my life? I thought this was the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he gave me some bullshit about, the politics of the business. And I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. I can handle my own. You know what I'm saying? So, and we just had a fallout from there. And I ended up, leaving. I left without a job. I was like, I can't work for this dude. First of all, this man don't practice what he preach. And like, I was fooled for years thinking that, he was some righteous dude that was, who was looking out for me. But no, he just needed he needed slaves. Cuz that's pretty much what that is. It's slave work. It sucks. It hurts. It's backbreaking work, but I mean, we got paid decent for it. So, I was like, shit, I might as well get my own. But he was like, nah, man, I was looking at that contract and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, damn, you ain't gonna let your nephew eat? I guess not.
So was he like, he had like a crab in a bucket mentality with it,
No, he didn't have a crab in
or
a
he
bucket
just didn't want you to
mentality.
come up at all? He would just like stay underneath me.
I don't even think it was that. I just think he was looking at the contract and he had his ducks in a row to hit that contract, and it was just unfortunate. I don't, as I say it, I mean, before I held ill will, like a couple years ago, I was like, fuck that nigga, and I was like, well, now that I think about it, it's just like, he was looking out for himself. Unfortunately,
To the detriment of,
he got arrested on some others on some child support shit. So that karma kind of worked things out for him. So
Damn.
But I mean, from what I understand, he works for the guy that was working for him at the time now.
that's a
So I guess everything comes back around.
Basically.
But with that story, that's how. I mean, I still got my own contract, but I had to go to Sears, and Sears is absolutely terrible. Never go there.
Sears is going out of business at that time too.
Man, they've been no, Sears wasn't going out of business at the time. It was talks about going out of business. So they were lighting up on, a lot of their
Shipment
things because they had just purchased Kmart not too long ago. So Sears acquired Kmart, and that was keeping them afloat for a while. But during I guess the 3 or 4 years, I guess through 2013, because 2013 was terrible. In January of 2013, I got into this accident. Totally frozen over. I was going to work. I couldn't see my windshield. I didn't have any heat in the truck. My windshield was frosty. I was definitely trying to get to work because once you get to work, you get to pick your own routes and all that kind of shit. And since I was the head, I was the only driver. The driver got to pick the route, so the helpers didn't get to pick the route. So, and I didn't want to hear nobody's mouth talking about they got a shit route for today. So I rushed out of the house. I was on the highway. I couldn't see this guy. I swear to God, he did not have his headlights on. It was dark. I got over to get off of the thing, and I sideswiped his car.
Jeez.
So nobody was hurt or anything. It was just very, very unlucky. And at that time, I had to cancel my insurance because I was out of work for 3 months. So I wasn't getting paid, and I'm just now getting back into the swing of things with work and whatever. As a matter of fact, that we got paid that week, and that week was the week I was going to get my insurance. So it is what it is. But so I had that under my belt. That followed me for a while. That I actually got that paid off last year. I owed them $3,000 for a little scratch on the side of their car because I didn't have any insurance and they had full coverage. So they came after me hard. They took my license. Oh yeah, over the years they took my license twice because I was unable to pay. And like, when you drive for a living, you need a license. You need a license. So it's just like between those years where I was trying to build up this business and a lot of shit was just happening. And what happened? Like 2013, 2014, we're going to shift back into YouTube. So 2014 was when, I started talking to you guys. 2013, 2014, we started, chopping it up. I started making friends. I started going on trips and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, like having a business and going on trips, they kind of don't mix when they don't, relate. So, I mean, but my shifts were covered. You know what I'm saying? With me being one of the only drivers, we had to get 2 more trucks. So like the business was good, but it wasn't good. So we got more trucks, but that means we needed more manpower. And there's nobody just lining up trying to do that kind of work. The work is terrible. But where's my train of thought? But I was doing my thing, taking the trips, doing the YouTube thing, meeting up with friends and whatnot. And like it was good. It was okay. I was starting to get my, my happiness back from where, I was, but it's just the business itself. It was just a looming thing over me. It was like, this isn't what I wanted to do, but this is what I have to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So right. I think, towards the end of 2014, my wife had gotten a job. This is the first job she's ever gotten. Like I was like from the day that I met her from 2014 it was like I always took care of them. We always had enough money to pay the bills, get them whatever they needed. She never had to step out of the house to do anything. She basically raised the kids from when they were babies and all that kind of stuff. But 2014, she could see that, we were struggling, and the kids all of them were in school. So it wasn't a big deal that, she would, you know, need to step out and get a job or whatever. But you know, that kind of hurt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? From being used to having her be at home with the kids and having the kids secure for, you know, getting anything picked up, doctor's visits and all that kind of stuff, to having her go to work and have us, you know, have that substitute mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would call grandma to make sure that they get to school on time and all that kind of stuff. And that's a tough transition for having to switch your entire reality. So that kind of fucked with me a little bit. And then in 2015, nothing really happened. It was just a lot of the same. 2016 is where things started getting really. I was just really fed up with a lot of shit. 2016, the business it wasn't good. Like gas prices were rising, also insurance was rising, and it was getting really hard to stay above water because nobody was throwing me a bone. Nobody was trying to help out. The company that I was contracting for, they basically said, you know, I mean, if you can't afford to stay in business, we can't afford to keep you. But I mean, we did everything that we could to, you know, keep our heads above water. And for the next 2 years, I kind of just backed off of it. I was like, this ain't what I want to do, and I'm not gonna sit here and break my back for a company, first of all, that doesn't appreciate the work that we do, because they literally would tell us that it's our fault that we didn't have enough money when we were supposed to get raises forever ago. So they're blaming our non getting raises on us. But it is what it is. From there, like end of 2016, I was just done with everything. I stopped going to work. I told my partner, I was like, you know what? I'll come in every Saturday and you pay me, like I'll pay myself this much money so the other guys could get work and all that kind of stuff. So 2016 was the time around where I started doing YouTube very, very heavily. I started treating it like it was my job. And that's when you know, Dragon Ball Fusions and stuff came out. And then I got a huge boom. I got a huge boom on my YouTube channel. And then
Breath of the Wild happened.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, unfortunately, in 2017.
Addicted.
Dog, that game took away everything. So, I mean, it didn't take away everything. It was more of me just kind of like being high on my own supply. I was like, yo, this is dope. I got Dragon Ball Fusions just racking up fucking views in the back. But then
you were
honestly,
yourself.
I was definitely feeling myself at the time. And it was just like you know, 2016, 2017, it was like, yo, things are cool. Things are looking up. And then the adpocalypse happened. Honestly, I do believe I could be at 100K right now if the adpocalypse had not happened. Because people are just so demotivated.
What exactly like hit you with the adpocalypse?
It was the motivation. It was everybody really just giving up. And I could physically see my views dropping. Like, not my views, but my revenue, it just dropped. It like disappeared.
Despite those views being the same.
Yeah, the views were the same. I would get about 10,000 views on like any Fusion video I put up, but the money that came from January, it was January. I got a really good check from January. That never happens. That never happens. You get a good check from January, you can basically see the horizon on the end of the fucking world. It's just like, damn, I could really do some shit with this. So after January, March, April, all that shit, the adpocalypse happened, and then you could physically see the money just going away. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was like, fuck.
And at that point, a lot of people were in like talks about moving to Twitch and doing all this extra stuff because it made no sense. Like, I don't know, it's weird because to some people, like, they see it as like YouTubers whining, but it's like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Like, they're talking about something that affects them. You know, I understand. I understand that, you know, people like free entertainment and people are like replaceable in terms of the content they create or whatever. But it's like, you know, my nigga, like, if my videos aren't getting what I need them to get, and or they're not being pushed out, or they're not, you know, getting what they need to get, or like YouTube's algorithms like fucking up. Like, I'm sorry, but if these videos don't do good, you don't get the videos you subscribed for, and it doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. It's just like people were being remember when the Adpocalypse started, people were being very, 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 very vocal about how the Adpocalypse affected them in particular. And viewers saw it as like the YouTubers whining. And I'm like, this is the reality of the situation. Like, my nigga, like, I understand you niggas, like, you know, for example, like me and Nexus uploaded a collaboration, right? Nigga, the Adpocalypse, nigga, if that shit continues to fuck me and Nexus over, my nigga, there is no me and Nexus. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we have to be as vocal about that as possible. And, you know, they always tell you, like, you know, and I'm so happy that YouTube has taken, like, I guess, an initiative towards making sure that there's a way to get money outside of AdSense. Because, you know, for those who are unaware, we get paid more through memberships. We get paid more through like interactions, like money wise via the YouTube channel, when it's not like the AdSense, because AdSense is unreliable as a source of income. You know, it just is. You know, for the last year and a half, I've tried to move. You know what I'm saying? Move move like
depending on AdSense.
Exactly. That's why the Patreon's here. That's why the YouTube members are here. That's why, like, all that stuff is here, because you never want to rely on AdSense, but at the same time, you know, you never want to have all your eggs in a basket. You know, I'm turning my YouTube channel into a Twitch, just all in one. So I'm making the same amount of money I was on Twitch, a little bit more, and then the same amount of money that I, you know what I'm saying, do on just a regular YouTube month or whatever. You know, and that's just off of that AdSense alone. So it's like, you know, I don't understand, and we talked about this the very first podcast, how, like, you can't talk about the shit that you go through on YouTube, because people see that as whining, people see that as you being entitled, and it's like, it's not that at all, my nigga. Like, if my channel is not doing good, you know what I'm saying, and you claim you really do give a fuck about my channel, it's like, my nigga, we have to, like, there has to be a meeting ground here, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, I have to explain to you, I'm more relaying information to you. You know what I'm saying? Than I am complaining. Like, oh, hey, nigga, the Adpocalypse is fucking up. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta, I don't know. Niggas went to Twitch. Niggas opened up Patreons. Look at Shady. Shady's the reason why I started my Patreon. Shady started branching out, and he started seeing his stats go down. Right? Because he wasn't uploading no Pokemon for a while. Remember that? And he uploaded Patreon. His Patreon now makes it to where he doesn't have to worry about a YouTube algorithm.
Right.
And that's where I want to be at. I want to make it to where the Patreon, the YouTube members and shit like that, that's the income that really just does it, so that I can make whatever content that I do want. So I don't have to worry about a YouTube algorithm or some shit like that. And it doesn't help that you're fighting an algorithm while also fighting an adpocalypse or an ad decline or a revenue drop every other season, or whenever the next biggest YouTuber says the N-word. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. So that's the reason why in the last like year and a half you've seen so many YouTubers like just branch away from relying on AdSense and doing YouTube so full time. And to the audience, you know, I've seen a lot of weird comments where it's like, that's trash, you're only doing it for the money. It's like, my nigga, like, do you want the videos or not?
At that point, like, I just don't agree with when people say that you're doing something for the money. I was talking about this yesterday. I was talking about this yesterday during the whole VGC stream that I had, and somebody asked me if I planned on, or if I would ever consider doing old school video games, like I stream for old school games, and I straight up told him, I was like, dude, I used to like base my Twitch off of old school JRPGs because I wanted to play stuff that I'd never played as a kid before. I didn't have the means to, and nobody showed up. Like even when I had a following on YouTube and like the Pokemon people were there and like, oh yeah, if you do this, we want to watch you play Chrono Trigger. All right, cool. Nobody showed up. Why am I gonna waste 3, 5, 7 hours doing something for no reward? And in Twitch's case, the reward is the viewership. Like fuck the subs at that point. The viewership is what counts. So why am I wasting time playing this game for 0 viewers, 1 viewer, 2 viewer? I can just watch YouTube or watch Netflix, play the game on my own time, eat pizza, fucking jack off, I don't know, whatever the fuck I want, and still enjoy the game. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and look at a number not grow and stream. And that whole mentality that people have, like I get it back in the day when Twitch wasn't as big as it is now and YouTube wasn't an actual
as established
job. Yeah. You know, doing it for the hobby, doing it for fun, that made sense, you know, because everybody and their mama, oh yeah, man, if you just do this for if you do it for a hobby, you'll grow. Don't treat it, you know, like a job or whatever. If you're doing it for the money, you'll never grow. Like people will never come to you.
That's just not true.
Yeah,
that's not true at all because all the biggest names are all people who hopped on trends.
Yep. And they have to. Like,
and then you have to.
Smart. If you don't do that, you know, like if you don't do that, you're not like the whole, what was it? Five Nights at Freddy's. That was a
Five Nights at Freddy's,
trend.
Undertale.
That died off, and they started doing all the other horror games. Undertale was a huge thing. You have fucking people that don't even know what an RPG is.
That secret neighbor game.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like that trendy shit. That's what get views. That's what people want to see. And I know people. It's weird as hell. People get mad when like there's Slenderman.
It's not people. It's kids, man.
No. It's not kids, bro.
Kids only want their content, but they're not leaving comments like,
watch
hey, man,
what
if
they
you don't do
want.
this.
Kids will watch whatever they want. It's the grown people. It's like the teenagers / adults who want what they want. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly don't believe you.
What do you mean?
I don't believe it.
What do you mean?
No, I do believe, like, what grown ass man is sitting here watching Hello Neighbor?
Dog, I'm telling you, like, scratch the game, right? Scratch the game. Not even.
That's not it. That's not it.
I'm telling you,
that's not it.
Literally old ass people.
The kids,
in relative case,
the kids will watch whatever they want to watch. Whatever game is trendy, they will watch it. Fortnite is a prime example. Minecraft in the last 4 or 5 months is another example. Five Nights at Freddy's was like an example back in the day. Bending the Ink Machine. Secret Neighbor is definitely one of them. Call of Duty. Most of Call of Duty's community, while it was mature YouTubers, the audience were kids.
Yes, that's my point.
No, but what I'm saying is
they're not the ones leaving the comments.
They're not. Kids are not the ones being as negatively vocal, unlike there are teenagers and adults. So
that's what I'm saying.
You get like the immature ass comments where it's just like, like you know it's a child you're talking to on the screen, right? But then you'll get like one of them really long ass paragraphs where it's like, who is this nigga? Who is this nigga? Is he talking to me in the comment?
That's my point. You're proving my point. My point is, kids are the ones who are driving the views.
Right.
They are. The adults are the ones who have stuff to say.
Right.
They don't matter. It doesn't matter.
I agree.
So
I
fan
100%
base,
agree.
you have to appeal to kids because kids are the ones who are on their phones all day.
I agree.
I'm at work all day.
I think what kills me is I remember coming up. Well, we were not even talking about we were talking about the years and shit now, so we're here. Back in I remember 2016. 2016 was the last time we saw people major blow up in the last couple of years. Like we saw a mass number of people blow up. It was in 2016. And I remember that, I always wondered, what was I doing? This is when I was doing primarily Pokemon. I was Pokemon isn't a kid's game like that. And it's weird. Pokemon does not bring in that many kid viewers as you think, unless it's toys, TCG, or shiny hunting. Little tutorials and everything like that. But no little ass kid is watching you play a Pokemon game 5 million times. That's not happening.
Hey guys, do you want to play
No,
Pokemon?
and it's wild to me because I promise you we sat behind this. Oh, Pokemon is a kid game for a while now, right? But most of the audience on YouTube are all adults.
I don't know. I think Pokemon it's a monster in itself because Pokemon isn't for everybody. Nobody's gonna
Right.
go out of their way. Pokemon doesn't trend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon is extremely niche to
Yeah.
where that there's a community for it. Like there's like a small community, like the Pokemon community, that is, you know, that they're in their own vacuum, in their own echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pokemon doesn't meet like mainstream shit like Fortnite does.
It doesn't.
Pokemon does tailor to children, but Pokemon, it's more so the anime, like you said, the anime, the toys, and all that kind of stuff. The gameplay, nobody's gonna sit there because kids are, you know, they want to play the shit themselves.
And that's the thing about it too, because I remember we were getting mad at Masuda a while back, like 2016, 2017. He said it himself. He was like, kids aren't playing Pokemon like you think you are.
Right.
And that's not. I want you to know, when you read these interviews from these like game developers, you start to realize where their mindset is, and they're appealing towards kids nowadays. Like the attention span for kids and even people who watch videos is so short. There's a reason why songs, modern day like media now, is straight to the point. Songs
Very
are shorter, catchy. The videos, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but in the last couple months, my videos have been shorter. I used to do like 20, 30-minute videos, hour-long videos, to like 15, 20-minute max videos. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody got time for that.
Nobody has time to watch the full videos no more. Nobody wants to listen to a 4 or 5 minute song like that. And the people that do is that really small minority of people. The mass majority of people, the attention spans are so different. And when you listen to these game developers like talk about like Masuda deadass said himself, people aren't playing Pokemon like you think they are. You know, they're not. People aren't putting time into their 3DSs like they are their phones, and that's the truth. That is 100% the truth. Look at mobile gaming. Look at mobile gaming in its entirety. There's a reason why we've gotten dead ass 5 or 6 mobile games, spin-off games, versus the mystery dungeons, versus the rumbles, versus the whatever. Minus the main series games, we have not gotten a Pokemon spin-off title that wasn't on a phone. Because people aren't playing Pokemon like that.
Nope.
People aren't playing games like that. It's the reason why Fortnite went cross-platform. It's the reason why Call of Duty has multiple versions of itself where you can now play on your fucking phone, and that's cross-platforming as well. PUBG at one point it still is cross-platform. Like that ass phones. Modern day technology is just bigger, and the attention span for people, not just kids, people in general, is so short now. You know, and it's just better to have shorter stuff and shorter content out. And that's my thing. Like, you know, I understand it. Like the vocal minority really does make me like a little bit mad, because like, you know, what they want is very specific and very outdated, very like, you know,
what they want is to stay the same. They don't want to change with the tide. And I've always been about change. I have never been afraid to change.
That's crazy, because I know for me, and you know me, I was.
Yeah.
For a while, for everybody, I guess this is where we, you know, ricocheted me or whatever.
I still had 2 years to go, but whatever.
You want to go? Yo, you want to finish it? We can finish it. We can come back. We can come back, because I was going to start from 2013 and meet you up where you were at.
Well, I mean, all in all, like, I was going on about my business and shit to where, you know, it was failing, and it was like right there. It was going to fail. There was no doubt in my mind that.
So who pulled the plug?
He pulled the plug.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
He was out on a route one day, and he called me, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm turning this truck around. I'm going back in. I can't do this shit no more." Because at that time, it was just like, for what? We were in the hole. Nobody was getting paid, and it was just like, fuck it.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, I mean, shit.
And
It
this
is
is
what
before
it
you
is.
went back to
I
school. This is
I
like,
had checked out. Yeah. This was before the hiatus. This was right before the
okay.
hiatus. So I had checked out of that job like a year before. Like I had before the business actually failed, I had not been to work, and I probably out of the whole year, I probably went to work like maybe 5 or 10 days, and they were all on Saturdays.
Jesus.
So
Well, shout out to you where you're at now. But this is before Amazon,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. This was before Amazon.
Okay.
So we're in what 2017. The the business is officially closed. Um, Going into 2018, things were it just sucked. Things were terrible.
Mm.
My wife, she she could keep a job, but her job was never doing her good. It was always to the point where she would get to like her third month, and then something stupid would happen. Something would happen to where she would have to leave. This is right before, she gets hired on full time, she gets her benefits and all that kind of stuff. She
Mm-hmm.
could never stay at a job and, get her benefits or whatever. And we were just really struggling. We had to put our house under deferment like twice throughout throughout the years, and it was just a really really bad time. Um it had gotten so bad to the point to where we were talking about divorce. And honestly, and it's crazy how just like things in your life will cloud your judgment from basically you doing what you need to do. And that's basically my whole point from last year to this year. Um 2018 was an eye-opening year. It got me to the point to where, like I say, me and my wife was talking about divorce, and it wasn't even on some negative shit. We were just tired of everything. We were tired of each other. We were tired of being broke and all that kind of shit. And um before, like when the business had shut down, I wasn't I didn't show that, it was affecting me. And to be honest, I didn't know it was affecting me. Just recently, I had just come to the conclusion myself that losing that business, even though I hated it so much, it was mine. You know what I'm saying? And losing
Yeah.
something like that, it's a part of you. You put time and you put effort into it. So I'm not gonna say I absolutely hated it, because there was a love to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I didn't love it, I wouldn't get up and do it. Um, but after it had shut down and I was jobless for, I guess I would say 3 years, it it had dawned on me it was the business that shut down that was contributing to me not wanting to get up and do it again. I didn't want to
You feel like
start
a
over.
failure.
I definitely was a failure. Yeah.
Hey, we talking about me right now.
We ain't even
I
get to
did.
you. What the fuck is happening? Yo, what the fuck? This is gonna be a very depressing episode, but I hope people understand.
bro.
No, but
There's a light to
obviously,
these stories. There's a light to
there's
these stories.
definitely a light at
There's
the
a
end.
light
There's
to these
definitely a
stories.
light
Just
at
keep
the
it
end.
going.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
keep it pushing.
All
Keep
right,
pushing.
so like I say, me and my wife were talking about divorce. We had gotten papers. I even went so far as to sign them, but we never turned them in. And when it got to the point where I was ready to turn them in, I got a call from my grandmother. And my grandmother, she has a very smart mouth. And me and Avia were just going through it. And I had realized at the time, I was like, I need to change. And it was just the worst of times for my grandma to call me. And because I think she said she was going to help me out with the car or whatever. She was going to help me out with the car, and she said something to make me believe that she wasn't going to help me anymore. And at this point, I'm at the end of my rope. So I broke down. I started crying. I told her I was stressed. I need help, and all this kind of stuff. and it was.
You said your grandmother, right?
That sounds like an overwhelming feeling.
So let me
Ask
you something.
It was super overwhelming.
When you told her all that, right? How did she how did she receive that?
Oh no. She definitely was on some I'm gonna fuck you up type shit. But she called me back and she explained she was like, you know how I talk, you know how how I can be. I'm streaming, baby. I'm streaming. Back upstairs, please. What? Go find you something to eat. I'm streaming. There's nothing I can do right now for you. Go get you some noodles, bag of chips, something. We got it all. Good day. Anyway.
Hey, we got chips upstairs. Move.
Anyway, so she was explaining to me, you know how my mouth, you know how I get, but yes, I am going to help you, but more importantly, we need to help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And at this time, like, me and Avia had been arguing about a lot, and we were she was done. She had checked out of the marriage a long time ago.
Right.
And we would just have these talks, and it was just like she was her only response was she was done. And I don't know, at that point I broke down, and I was just like, I have to change. And so that's when I think Mega Man 11 had come out. And everybody was looking for the playthrough, and I had ghosted everybody.
You played it though.
He definitely played it.
I played it.
I played it. I don't want to hear Mikey
I played it. I didn't get through it, but I did play it. But
how did you like it?
It's great.
I'm gonna say it was. Come on.
It was hard.
It was
really
better than Mighty Number 9. Let's
talk
about that.
You know what's funny though?
Come on, let's talk about that.
I left that out for a specific reason.
Bro, number 9 as a concept isn't bad, and the game, like if you speedrun it, it's okay. It's just the level design. If they fixed level design in number 9, I think the game would have actually gotten received a lot better. Level design is trash in that game. There's no reason I should be able to go through a game and then the level specifically is designed to kill me. Like, it's one thing to just be challenging. It's another thing, like the fucking water level. I remember distinctly somewhere around right when you get past the first little zone and you get to the actual underwater part or the water part, there's all those fucking spike balls or spikes just kind of like lying around and shit. They're specifically designed to where if you do an air dash, they immediately hit you. Like, you jump air dash and there's a spike and you can't see it because it's off screen. So jump, air dash, spike, death. Okay, jump, fall over, death. Like, you have to jump and walk a little bit, jump again, and then just like hover through it before you get to the bottom and hope you don't touch the ball on the ground. This is fucking bullshit. It's just
I'm literally at the end of my story. Can I please finish? Nobody wants to hear about Mighty Number fucking 9, dog. Shut the fuck up,
bro. Just saying.
Anyway, so I got help. I started talking to my uncle, which is a pastor, and we got a little bit of counseling and all that kind of stuff. So we decided, obviously, to stay together. And like, I didn't want to leave. Nobody wants to start over in anything. Like, that's the with me actually embracing change. That's not a change that I'm willing to embrace, because I just put it too much time. It's just way too much time, and she knew it. And I just started asking her questions like, "What are you gonna do? When you leave, how are you going to support yourself? Where are you going to go in 2018 to where you'll be able to sustain an apartment or whatever you're going to get? What am I going to do with the house? How am I going to sustain myself?" And it was just like, well, and she never had an answer for it. And she knew deep down that she couldn't have an answer for it because there was nothing that we could have done.
Y'all got so involved in like each other.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of depended.
No. We didn't get involved in each other. That was the problem. We never got involved with each other. I was involved with YouTube. That's where my vices were. And the thing is, YouTube did nothing for me because, it was, I didn't ride the wave, or
I
I didn't do what I was
that was like a year after everything too. So you could tell you were just like mentally like defeated in that.
Yeah, I was mentally defeated on all fronts. I was mentally defeated in my marriage. I was mentally defeated on money. I didn't know where, you know, the next check was coming from or whatever, but September actually helped me out, but that was cool. But you know, coming into 2019, it was literally a brand new Mikey. Like I am my hair, my head is so clear
You
right
got
now.
no gray hairs. Shout out to the gray hairs. Back don't crack.
No. I definitely got
it's coming up right here. Dan, never mind, bro.
Gray. But no, I decided to, you know, get back into school. I'm going to be a game designer. I'm going to fulfill my dreams, and I actually started work. Everybody knows, started work in November, so things are looking really, really good. I absolutely love my job. I love the people that I work with, and they're I got in through a temp agency, but the people that I'm working for, they are constantly talking, you know, to the above people to get me hired on full time with benefits and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully within the next couple of months, I'll be on full time. I'll have benefits. Abby can drop her benefits because her benefits are trash, and she can get that little extra money that we need for that month later on down the line. So this year, coming up in 2020, we're going to be looking to, you know, get our credit together and actually buy a bigger house, because our children are they're getting so big, man.
I told y'all there's a silver lining to this story.
It sucks that children have to grow, but you know, it's all good. But yeah, the silver lining is definitely don't give up, man. Just whatever you do in life, don't give up, because you will never know what's on the other side. So honestly, giving up, because with the business, I didn't want to give that up. I honestly did not want to give it up, but it was one of those things where life made me give it up because it wasn't what I wanted to do. So now I'm on the track of doing exactly what I want to do and living out my dream instead of somebody else's. So I'm Gucci. I am absolutely at peace with myself. Now you motherfuckers can talk. I'm done.